Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 289. Please turn to it, page number 289, the very last problem in the first column, number 151. In problem number 151, they tell us that the price of stock X, the price per share of stock X increased by 10% over the same period that the price per share of stock Y decreased by 10%. Alright, so price of X, we are told, has gone up by 10%, and we are told that the price of Y has gone down by 10%. The question simply is, what is the ratio? The reduced price of Y, which is what we are calling YF, F for the final price or the reduced price, is what percentage of the original price of X, which we are calling X naught for the original price. Original price of X, final price of Y. This thing is to be read as X naught. It is not to be read as X0 or XO as some people read it. It's not XO, it's not X0. X naught is how it is read if one is to read it in proper manner. And we are using that symbol to designate the original price and subscript F for the final price or the reduced price. So here's what's going on. Here's the original price of X. Here's the final price. The final price of X, we are told, price of X has gone up by 10%. If the price of X has gone up by 10%, then that will be represented as 1.1 of the original price. Similarly, the final price of Y has gone down by 10%. It's gone down by 10%, so it will be 90% of the original price. So those are the symbols that we can employ, and the ratio that we're looking for is this. The final price of Y, the reduced price of Y, or the final price of Y, is what percentage of the original price of X, which is X naught. This is the ratio that we're interested in. If somehow we can figure out this ratio, that's what we need. Before we actually do the work, let's work on it first of all so that we can find it in the simplest form so that we know exactly what we are looking for. YF we know is 0.9 times Y naught, and X naught is 1.1 over X naught, which is simply 0.9 over 1 is just simply 9 times, it should say, I don't know why my notes say 10, it should say 11, shouldn't it? Original price of X naught. Oh, original price of X naught will just be original price of X naught. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I wasn't paying attention. You see, that's what happens when you don't pay attention. I was taking the ratio of the final price of X and Y. Final price of Y is 90% of the original price of Y, and they'll want that amount compared to the original price of Y, not the final price of Y. Original price of Y is just original price of Y, which simply boils down to 0.9 is same as 9/10, which is a known quantity. So basically we have to figure out this part. Somehow we can figure out the original price ratio, we are done. That's a very roundabout way of asking what is the price ratio of the original price of X and Y. That's all it is. Let's see what they tell us. In the first statement they tell us, where should we do the first statement? Let's do it up here. In the first statement they tell us that the increased price of increased price of X was equal to the original price of Y. Increased price of X is same as x subscript f, which we are told was same as the original price of y. Well, I think that should do the job, because we know that the final price or the increased price of x is simply 1.1 x naught. And we are told that is equal to y naught. And we are interested in this ratio. We are interested in y naught over x naught. That's it, we are done. We divide both sides by 1.1, or rather x naught, then y naught over x naught would be simply 1.1. If you were to divide this equation, both sides by x naught, we'll get our ratio that we need. 1.1 is the answer. The question was, so once we know that part, we can multiply that by 9 over 10 and we'll get the ratio that we're looking for. That's all. The first statement does the job. The first statement is sufficient. A, D, B, C, E. Because the first statement we just found out to be sufficient, we know now that the answer cannot be B, C, or E. It will have to be either A or D. Let's see what they tell us in the second statement. You have to pay attention to the wording, because that's what I was not doing here. You have to pay attention to the wording. It says the increased price per share of X. Increased price per share of X is what we're calling the final price, which is X subscript F. Was 1011. The decrease in the price per share of X. What was the decrease in the price of Y? What was the decrease in the price of Y? Let's put it in words. I'm trying to do it in a hurry. It's not a good idea. Increased price. Does it say increased price of X or increase in the price of X? The increase in the price of X. Bloody hell! This is not right. This is the increased price. They're looking for increase in the price. So let me write it down. Never try to do it in a hurry. We'll mess it up. Increase in the price of X. Increase in the price of X. What was the increase in the price? Well, the increase in the price is simply the final price of X minus the original price. This is the increase in the price of X, and we are told here that is 1011 of decrease in the price of Y. What was the decrease in the price of Y? Well, the decrease in the price of Y was, again, you take your original price minus the final price. This is the decrease in the price. This is the decrease in the price. Because the price is decreasing, we have to put the original price first. For example, if the price goes down from $10 to $8 and somebody asks you what's the decrease in price, you will say 10 minus 8. You will put the original price first and then the final price, 10 minus 8. But if it goes up from $10 to $13 and somebody asks you what was the increase, you would say $3. In that case, you will put the final price first and then the original price. That's what it is here. Let's see what we can do with it. It can be done. We should be able to see right away that eventually there is a way to manipulate this equation to get this ratio. This is what we're looking for. And it can be done. Second statement by itself is also going to be enough. We'll find in a second. So if we cross multiply, we find 11 times xf minus x naught equals 10 times y naught minus yf. Distribute the 11 and the 10, so we get 11 times xf minus 11 times x naught and 10 times y naught minus 10 times yf. All we're going to do is bring the x naught and the y naught on one side, put it in such a way that we can figure out, we can manipulate the ratio there. Let's see what we can do here. Actually, I just realized that I made it far too complicated. It's too early for this part. What is the change? What is the increase in the price of x? Increase in the price of x is simply 10% of x. And what is the decrease in the price of y? Which is also 10%. 10% of the original price. I don't know why I didn't see it before. That's all there is. We see point 1 appearing here, we see point 1 appearing here, point 1 drops out. And there you go. we're looking for y naught over x naught, y naught over, bring the x naught down. So y naught over x naught, if you were to bring the x naught down here, it was simply 11 over 10. 11 over 10, which of course is 1.1, same as before. I wasn't quite paying attention just now. The answer is D. But we knew that all along, as we pointed out. It was a very simple equation where we can very easily extract the ratio that we're interested in. Now this is not the ratio that they're asking in the problem, they're asking something else. But in order to find the ratio that they're asking for, which is the ratio of the final price of y to the original price of x, as we found out, that ratio equals 9/10 of the original price of y to the original price of x. So once we know that part, we can answer the question. Second statement by itself is also enough. The answer is D, right there. Alright? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.